Let me now answer the question, what are the objects in that geometry game program that you saw me demonstrating in the previous video? So just to refresh your memory what the program was about, so that is a program that displays a message to the user, and that message shows the coordinates of a rectangle, and the user should enter the coordinates of a point. That's the interaction, that's a short description of the program and the interactions that happened during the execution of the program. And the objects are these. So we have a message that shows to the user, and that is a type string. So string data type, right? That's how we create messages and text descriptions using strings. So string is basically a class that produces string instances, such as, in our case, please enter some coordinates. That is a string instance that is produced by the string class. Now, the string class has been already designed by the developers of Python, so it is built inside the Python interpreter, and we can use that by just using this double or single quotes around some text. That makes that a string instance. So the simple act of putting some quotes around something in Python makes that something a string. Next we have coordinates. So now we're talking about numbers, right? Coordinates are things that we use in math. Therefore, I think that would be a float type. So we had string types, and we will have float types. So again, float is a class, and in Python, when we write a number which has a dot, so 10.1, 2.55, Python understands that as being a float, so a number with decimal points. But then we see we also have a rectangle object here and also a point object. But does Python have a built-in class for rectangles and points just like it had strings and floats? No, it doesn't. But we can create them using the class keywords. So we're talking about creating a new class in our program. So we have these existing classes, string and float, but we don't have rectangle and points. We can create those classes and then create object instances with those classes. So classes are like blueprints. So these are the object types: string, float, rectangle, and point. And each of them will, of course, create different instances, as I mentioned. So you run the program once, that rectangle class will create that rectangle instance for that particular user, and that rectangle instance will have some random coordinates, and then that user or another user will run that program again. Another instance of rectangle will be created with different random coordinates. So each time we have different instances created by the same class that we will have written inside our program. That's the theory behind that. Now let's get ready to write some real Python code, how to create classes in Python. See you in the next videos.